This conference will now be recorded.
That I have two people saying there's no video and they can't hear anything. No sound on my end, just video. They were going to adjust their.
Terry, it could be your, hi Lisa. I can hear, so it could be your microphone. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go continue. So I want to welcome you and just remind you that all things senior are on our webpage, irchs.org, and Students and Families tab. It's under there under senior page. Updating it as we can. Our senior advisors, myself, and we have Mrs. Lisa Gonzalez, who came to us this year, actually at the end of last semester. So she did meet the seniors, even though we're teaching the juniors now. And we're going to start with Ms. Rebecca Shearer, who is the campus director at Mueller campus, and she's going to talk about some things for IRSC, including their scholarship foundation. Okay, come on. They're saying that. Okay, so here's the camera. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Like Diane said, I am Rebecca Shearer. I am the new campus director here at the Mueller campus in Vero Beach. Of course, Indian River State College, our main campus is in Fort Pierce. We have a campus in Okeechobee, St. Lucie West, our Chastain down in Stewart, and then the Mueller campus, which is right here near your school. I've only been at this campus for a couple of weeks, but I have been with the college for the last 20 years in the Performing and Visual Arts department, so I'm going to plug a little bit of that program as well while I'm here tonight. But in college in general, just some highlights I want to mention for all of you tonight. The IRSC Foundation scholarships, that deadline is fast approaching. It is January 31st. There is a pretty little flyer here that I will also leave with your teachers here tonight. If you want to pick one up tomorrow, it's step-by-step instructions on how to complete this. If you have older children that have gone through our programs before, you might be familiar with this process. I can tell you it has gotten a lot easier. Before, you would have to select all the different scholarships that you might be interested in or might apply for. Nowadays, if you fill in the information, it will prompt questions and it will automatically apply you to scholarships that you are eligible for. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Even if you think you're not going to IRSC right now, you can still apply for these. And, you know, if your plans change and you move to Alaska, no hard feelings, you don't have to accept them, but you definitely don't want to miss this deadline if you are potentially interested in getting some of these additional scholarships. I will plug now the Performing Arts scholarship because I am from that program, and I know we've had many of your students come through our program in the past. That one is not based on this because it does not run out of our IRSC Foundation. It runs directly out of the Performing Arts Department, and those are audition-based scholarships. Many of your teachers here are well aware of that program. Again, you can use me as a contact still because I'm still closely working with that program. But if you're interested in the instrumental scholarship, the vocal scholarship, a dance scholarship, or a theater scholarship, or technical theater, those auditions are coming up in February, and we'll be sending information about that, but that one is separate from this, so you would have to specifically audition for those. And one thing I'd like to mention for that one as well, which is a really unique thing that Indian River State College does, and a lot of people don't know about it, you do not have to be majoring in the performing arts to get a performing arts scholarship. So if you go here to charter and you're a dancer, for instance, and you're planning to go to Indian River State College and major in education or nursing or business, you can still audition and get a full tuition scholarship for dance that would cover your complete program for 2 years for business. So definitely something to keep in mind. But again, those auditions are coming up. And again, you can use me as a contact. I'm not sure if you can see this, but here's my contact information also on the screen here. But Lisa and Diane can also get in touch with me about any of those type of scholarships. I know you've heard it a million times, but I'm going to do a million times plus one. FAFSA, FAFSA, FAFSA. It is very important that you get those in. Again, even if you think, oh, I might not qualify, It is worth the time to complete that and see if you might be eligible. It is a little time intensive to do that, and it does require the parents to put a lot of their information in. So please work with your child soon to get those completed. I'll just hit a couple more things real quick while I have you. If you've had older children that have gone through our programs before, one new feature we have is our queue list. So instead of having to wait 3 and 4 hours in lines to get registered, nowadays you can sign up before you even leave your house to get a spot in line, or you don't even have to come in person anymore. We offer virtual counseling. This pretty much is over every single college webpage that we have, how to sign up for queue list. But again, you can check with your teachers or me, and if you want to see a counselor, you can go ahead and get on there. It's never too early to start this process, applying to the college, completing your FAFSA, getting the scholarship information in. Again, even if your plans might change between now and August, it's definitely worth go ahead and getting those applications in. And again, there's too many programs to mention, but we have tons and tons of brochures and literatures right across the street here at the Mueller campus. You're welcome to stop by and see me anytime, and I can get you that information. But one program specifically we have at the Mueller campus is our culinary, and even newer than that is our hospitality. It's a great program they're offering there. You can get the full degree right there on our Mueller campus, and that's definitely one that you're going to get a job as soon as you graduate, because there's lots of jobs out there in the industry. I think that is my presentation for this evening.
I do have a question about the art scholarships. So can you explain how foundation works as far as they do one application and there are many scholarships that they get sent to that they can apply for?
Yep, that's this one. Again, it's our IRSC Foundation scholarship. There is a complete instructions. You can also find this online. That one is the deadline of January 31st. And this applies to many different scholarships that the college offers. But again, if you're talking about the performing arts scholarship, the theater, music, art, or dance, that is not this one. Again, you would do both. You can do these and possibly get scholarship. But the one I was referring to, the performing arts, that is an audition-based scholarship that you have to contact our department directly, performing and visual arts, and actually audition for that. And again, Mr. Nafzinger is well aware. I've worked with him for the past couple of years on how the audition process works. But again, you can reach out to me, or Lisa knows how to contact me about getting all the audition requirements for that. Again, that's in conjunction or in addition to these. This one will not apply you automatically for a theater performance scholarship.
Is there a particular art department?
Like visual arts?
Yes.
Okay. No, the performing and visual arts department, right now those scholarships are only for theater, technical theater, dance, instrumental music, and vocal music. We do not offer the visual arts scholarships at this time, but it's something that I am working on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you can.
Okay, does that answer Christine's questions? Okay, so you want to ask if there's any other questions that can.
Actually, I do have 2 other announcements
Good.
about IRSC events coming up. The Mueller campus specifically will be hosting a Discover IRSC night on Thursday, February 10th. It's in the evening, I believe it's 5:30 to 7:30. Actually, every campus is hosting it that week, but the Mueller campus right here in Vero will definitely be February 10th. And that is not just for seniors, that's for anybody in our community that wants to find out information about IRSC. But again, parents can come that night, students, community members. Again, that will be at our Richardson Center on February 10th, 5:30 to 7:30. Our culinary department will actually be doing an open house presentation that night, and I hear there's going to be some food, so definitely check that out. And then also, we're having an in-person Mueller dual enrollment information application session. Again, I know most of you are seniors and are probably finishing up this process, but if you have younger children at home and you're interested, that one will be on Tuesday, February 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. Again, here at the Mueller campus in the Richardson Center. And we will be there that night to help you actually through the application process, through the dual enrollment paperwork, how to do FAFSA and all that kind of stuff. So you can come to both of those, one or the other, but those 2 dates, if you would save them now and pass them along to other friends or family members that might be interested. February 10th is the Discover IRSC night. And then February 22nd, the 6 to 7, that was specifically for dual enrollment.
So it was February 10th was IRC night?
That's Discover IRSC at the Mueller campus. That whole week, each night is a different campus. I believe, for instance, Monday night is St. Lucie West, Tuesday night is Okeechobee, so on and so on. Friday night is the Massey campus, the Fort Pierce campus. You're welcome to go to any night. So if Thursday night does not work out for you to come here to the Mueller campus, even though you're in this county, you're welcome to go to any. And I know here at the Mueller campus that night, we have 10 different programs coming that night to be represented. Culinary is one of them. Performing arts will be there that night. Several will also be there that night to help with the application, and any other, our testing services will be there that night, assessment center. Just it's a great night to get hands-on information. That was the February 10th.
What time?
That one's 5:30 to 7:30, so it's like an open house. You can come anytime between that 5:30 to 7:30. And then the February 22nd, the dual enrollment, that one is 6 to 7. That one is come at 6 and hear a presentation for an hour about all dual enrollment information.
And I'm going to tell them about Great Exploration.
Yes, and that was the other on my notes, but yep, definitely check in with you guys if you're interested in the Great Exploration.
Okay.
Anything else for me?
Any other questions?
I'm excited to work with all of you, so please come and visit me over here at the Mueller campus. Rebecca Shear. There's this. Okay,
All
Thank
right.
you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. Just as a reminder, if you would please leave your mics muted. So the other thing I want to tag along with Rebecca on is the IRSC has a Great Explorations for juniors and seniors in high school, and it's on the main campus. So the one that we are planning is what they're having for our county is February 25th. I have already sent out a Google form to the seniors to see who wants to come. I've started with the seniors. We have one bus that will come. It's Friday. The bus will probably leave here about 7:30 in the morning. And they are able to tour or hear from 3 different departments at IRSC. IRSC provides lunch that day and entertainment, and we will be back on campus about 1:30 p.m. So if your student is interested, your senior is interested in IRSC and going next year, please encourage them to sign up on that Google form. I've only had about 10 seniors so far sign up, and that's baffling to me because it's a day out of school. So I just thought I'm traditionally in the past, we've had tons of them going. I'd love to fill the bus with the seniors. If they don't sign up by next week, then I'm going to the juniors, and I've already had several juniors tell me that they're interested. So please, please tell them to sign up. Okay, so are we ready? Any more questions? We okay?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so we're going to move on, and I have Mrs. Wainwright from the Scholarship Foundation of Indian River County. You will hear Fafsa again. She's going to talk about this Scholarship Foundation. So here we go, Mrs. Wainwright.
Thank
Here
you.
we go.
Hello, everyone. It feels weird to look at a blank screen and no smiling faces, but we're just kind of talking to ourselves here. So if you have questions, make sure you ask the questions on the chat. I'm Camila Wainwright with the Scholarship Foundation. Our organization is a privately funded nonprofit organization that funds scholarships for students in Indian River County going off to a 4-year university. I know you're sick of hearing deadlines, 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 but deadlines are the next 100 years of your life. So get used to hearing deadlines. Our deadline for our scholarship is February 1st. It's a hard and fast deadline. Our applications opened November 1st, so that you've had almost 3 months to do the application. And I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't had more students applying. Possibly they're going to technical schools, maybe they're going to go to IRSC, because that is a huge, great value in our community. And I would encourage families that need a school that's a little bit more affordable to certainly look into IRSC, because they have so many options now. And they also have one of the best nursing programs in the state. So if that's a direction that you want to go in, it's very much affordable. But my application is online at www.sfindianriver.org. And when you go to the application, we have a lot of different sections, but you actually fill out your application, submit it online. then you go back in and you have to make what they call an intake interview, where you bring in all your paperwork that's required. I will tell you, I've had like 35 students submit applications so far, and only about 8 or 10 actually make their intake interview, which is a little concerning to me. So I've sent emails out to all the students who have submitted an application, prompting them to make their appointment. And I've sent an email to all the students who started an application, maybe because somebody prompted them to do it, maybe your classroom teacher prompted you to do it, or your parents prompted you, or maybe the student just decided to start it that didn't finish the application process yet. Our scholarships, since 1965, we've awarded $13.4 million in Indian River County to 3,025 students in our community. So we're a serious player with scholarships. Last year, we awarded $531,850 to 31 students. That averaged about $17,000 a student over 4 years. So our scholarships range from $2,500 to $5,000. Our most competitive can go up to $7,500 or $30,000 over 4 years if you have a gap or the need. Our program is needs-based, and people go, oh, well, then we're not going to qualify. Listen to me. Need is not free and reduced lunch, people. It's not you don't have a job. It's not that you make too much money. The way we calculate need is the cost of attendance from a school. So if you're going to a Florida public school, $22,000. If your EFC on the Fafsa, EFC being estimated family contribution on your Fafsa, which Mrs. Shear also mentioned, the Fafsa, which opened October 1st, by the way. And I would hope by now most of you have done your Fafsa, because that's the way all of the colleges are going to offer you financial aid, and your Stafford loans will be on your financial aid letter. So when you're actually doing the application, or when we're calculating need, excuse me, let me go back. When we're calculating need, if you start with 22, if your family EFC is 10,000, say you have a family of 4 and you make $60,000 a year adjusted gross income, you may have a EFC of 10,000. You minus the 10 from the 22, that leaves 12. If you're a student who qualifies for Bright Futures, even though our minimums for the Scholarship Foundation scholarship is less than the Bright Futures minimum, but if you qualify for Bright Futures, whether it be the medallion level, which gets you 75% of your tuition, or the academic level, which gets you 100% of your tuition. The 100% equates to about $7,000. The 75% equates to about $4,500. For the sake of this illustration, we started with 22. You had an EFC of 10. Now you have 12 left. We're going to say your student qualifies for the academic level of 7. So 7 from 12 now leaves 5. That's the scholarship that we can help fund. If your student's going to an out-of-state school, say your school that they want to go to is $35,000, or a private Florida school, it's $35,000 or $50,000 or $80,000. I'm not the college police or the FAFSA police, so I don't tell families where they can go. We only show the numbers and make suggestions what's financially sound maybe for a family. But say, for instance, you have a really high EFC. If your EFC is, say, $35,000 because your parents both work and maybe they make $150,000 or $160,000 and there's only 3 people in your household, so you have a higher EFC, estimated family contribution. Again, the college you want to go to is $60,000. They have a $30,000 EFC, that leaves 30. You can't use Bright Futures if you're going out of state, but a lot of out-of-state schools will try and give you some money, either merit money or needs-based if you're in the need category, to actually take that down some. So the 30 that's left, after your parents pay their 30, maybe they give you 20, then you have 10. You know, we're not going to probably fund the whole 10 every year, but there's tons of other scholarships out there too. And so that will help you some, or you may have to take student loans, even though we don't advocate that you take student loans. If you're a family that has a 0 EFC, which means your family income is less, and you may have more people in your household than 4, you may have 6 people, you may have a grandparent living with you, whatever, but your EFC comes out to 0. That means your student is now qualified for Pell Grant money. Pell Grant money, full Pell Grant money equates to about $6,900. If your student gets Pell Grant money, they will probably also get state money, which is the Florida Residency Grant money and the ESE money and the FSEOG money. So there's a lot of other state money. The schools will actually award that based on first come, first serve. So I hope you all have paid attention to your school's priority deadlines, if they had priority deadlines, or you've gotten your applications in already so that the schools can make a proper assessment of any aid that they want to give you. I've thrown a lot of information at you. I encourage you, if you're not sure if your student qualifies and you say, well, I'm not going to just put an application in if I don't know, pick up the phone and call me. I'll go through your personal situation. We'll talk about the numbers. We'll talk about if your student meets my criteria. You have to have a 3.0 unweighted GPA for our regular scholarship and at least a 1110 or 22, 1110 on the SAT or 22 on the ACT. Bright Future standards, of course, are ACT 25, SAT 1210 for the medallion level. For the academic level, you're going to need to be at a 1330 or a 29 to get the highest. And you know, that's another thing, you should have already done your Bright Futures application as well. It's a simple application, but that puts you in the queue for other scholarships from the state, puts you in the queue for Bright Futures. And I know some people are sitting there saying, well, I don't meet the Bright Futures criteria. Why do I have to do that? Well, because you can continue to take the SAT and the ACT test until you graduate. So you could have an opportunity if you're at, say you're at a 23 or a 24 on the ACT, you've only got to raise it 1 or 2 points. You can get to 25. You can do it. I know you can. The same thing if you're on an SAT, if you've got your SATs and you're just not quite at a 1210 yet, take the test again, take the test again, take the test again. Take the test as many times as you have to try and get your scores up so that you get that free money. That's the Florida lottery money. And that's also, if students are on the line, that's your skin in the game. That's your reward for all your hard work throughout your years of school. Now, I know some students say, well, I'm not a test taker. I know all this information. I've got good GPAs. I've got a 4.0 unweighted. I've got a 4.7 weighted, but I can't get to any level. And you might not even get to my 1110 level because you're just not a test taker. We get that at Scholarship Foundation. So what we tell you is, while you might not meet my qualifications today, and you go off to school, say you get accepted to University of North Florida, Gulf Coast, one of the other schools that might take someone with a little bit lesser SAT or ACT. If you go the first year and have a 3.0 performance in college work, and the first semester of your sophomore year in college work, you can then come back to me in November of your sophomore year in college and make an application, and I can possibly help fund your junior, senior year with scholarships. Also, parents out there, if you have students that are already in college and they either missed my deadline, didn't meet my requirements, you didn't know about me, please call me. They can probably apply if they meet the criteria that we have, and again, if the need equation works out. So I know I've thrown a lot of information. I talk fast, so no questions? Is everybody still out there? Or have they all left? Yes, Mrs. Bainter has a poster that's been in her classroom since day one, probably before day one of November 1st. And again, I just encourage you to make application. If you don't know, if you need help with your Fafsa, if you have questions on Fafsa, please pick up the phone and call me. I'm in the office 9 to 4, 9 to 4:30 every day. We will be happy to help you. Happy to help you. We want to give money away. We've got money to give away. So we want to give money away. But more importantly, we also want the opportunity to have a dialogue with you and give you other information and other ways that you can get other scholarship money. For instance, at the district level, there's a scholarship for girls going to a Florida public, a school in Indian River County, going to a Florida public school. If they're in need, they can qualify possibly for the Agnes Peoples Award. That's another 4-year scholarship, and it's a significant amount of money. So in each of, in your schools, your guidance counselors or Ms. Bainter probably has a list of all the local scholarships, and it'll give you all of the criteria. And I'm sorry if I'm talking about things you wanted to talk about. It'll give you the criteria that you need to meet to get that scholarship. Many scholarships are silent on need. They just want an essay from you, or they want to know you know, what your high school GPA was or what your aspirations are for the future. And there's an awful lot of money in Indian River County that does not get awarded because kids don't apply for the scholarships. And I mean, there's the Rotary Club, the Elks Lodge, the Eldridge Wheeler, the Agnes Peoples, the Italian American Club, there's church affiliation ones, there's the yada yada, the yuda yuda, and the huda huda one. I mean, there are tons and tons. There's probably 250 other local scholarships that will award maybe $100 or $250 or $500 or $1,000 or whatever. They're usually one-time awards, so it can kind of help boost you that first year a little bit. But it's all good and it's all found money. And guess what? Scholarships and grants are free. You don't have to pay them back. Loans, you have to pay back. Parents, if you take Parent Plus loans, you have to pay those back. So you want to make smart decisions as a family too about undergraduate work. Sometimes students will want to go to this really expensive school and parents are kind of freaking out because they don't know how they're going to pay for it. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to pay $250,000 for an undergraduate degree when we've got awesome Florida public schools. And in our state and in our community, we have a great community state college here. It doesn't make sense always to pay that for an undergraduate degree, especially if you're looking to go to into a master's program, graduate program. That's where you're going to need to put your money later. So save your loans, do it smart, use your bright futures, stay in Florida. Some families, it means maybe staying at IRSC for 2 years and then transferring to a college. If you stay at IRSC for 2 years, again, you're that student that comes to me when they're in their sophomore year, I can possibly help you. And I also believe that Indian River State College offers some transfer scholarships for their students. You'll have to go to the foundation there and figure out how you qualify for that. But I've heard that they also help with money for you if you're going to transfer eventually. So there's a lot of information out there. This is the second time that we've talked to you all. I don't know if I have the same parents we talked to the first time, or if this is new set of parents and it's an aha moment, like, oh my gosh, we got to hurry and get this done. But you do have to hurry and get it done because February 1st is an absolute deadline. And the deadline for Indian River State College is January 31st. And it's an absolute deadline also. We have no wiggle room on those deadlines because we've had the applications up and running for so long, and there is a number of students who take it seriously and get it done. So we don't take, my computer didn't work the night before, my dog ate the computer line, my mom forgot to do this, my dad forgot to do this. It's the student's responsibility too. I would encourage parents to work with the students, but it is the student's responsibility. And that's what we try and teach throughout the whole scholarship process because they deal with us for the whole 4 years. They get their scholarship checks on a semester basis. They have to give me their grades to keep their scholarship. They have to give me other paperwork along the way. So they're always talking to, like I say, Mama Camila over here for 4 years. I'm their extra person and eyes kind of helping and guiding them through the process. So, any questions?
One is about, well, you just talked about reapplying and she was asking about scholarships. Do they have to reapply the second, third, and fourth year?
No, they actually like renew, but they're not reapplying with a new application. For my scholarship after you give me your fall grades and your spring schedule, then you get your spring check. You give me after that, you get a list of what you need to do before the January 1st deadline, which is simple. You're going to give me your grades for the spring. You're going to give me your Fafsa. If you've done it early, you can submit that early. So your SAR report. And then you're going to give me your financial aid letter for the upcoming year along with your fall schedule. So it's simple stuff. Again, we have an absolute deadline though. You miss deadlines, there's consequences. And consequences can be costly. You can miss getting a check if you don't meet deadlines. You know, some of the things might be out of your control. If you can't get a financial aid letter from the school, you got to talk to me. Communicate with me what's going on. Also, if you're in school and you decide, gee, I think I need to drop a class because otherwise it's going to lower my GPA and maybe it'll blow my bright futures and all, please pick up the phone and call me. We can work through that. You have to have full-time status, 24 credits in the academic year, and the academic year is fall, spring, and the summer after spring. is the academic year. You're supposed to take at least 12 credits the fall and the spring, but we know that sometimes somebody fails a class or drops a class, then you must make it up in the summer in order to still be an active student with us and keep your scholarship in good standing. And you need to maintain a 2.75 while you're in college. Okay, so there are requirements going forward, and but again, it's worth it if you're going to get a scholarship for $2,500 or $3,000 or $5,000 a year, free money. Again, I think the little bit of paperwork and the interactions that we ask for is not too much.
So every year they have to do the Fafsa, correct?
Oh, every year you're in college, you'll do FAFSA. You should put it on your calendar that every October 1st when it opens, you should be doing FAFSA. And there's no excuse not to, because now FAFSA has changed. So you're using, when you did the 22-23 FAFSA, you're using your 2020 tax return. So it's already done. You're not waiting on your 21 tax return. Your 2020 tax return is for your 22-23 FAFSA. So you should already be done with that and move it on. Next October of this year, you're going to be using your 21 taxes. And again, your taxes will have been complete, even for parents that get an extension into October. Then you maybe file your FAFSA in November, but you also can do it right then. Don't delay on those things, because that does put the colleges behind the 8 ball also, because they're looking for that information, because each year they're assessing how much aid they're going to give you based on your EFC. So if one year your parents are gainfully employed and the next year dad gets sick, he's not working, mom's hours go down, and your EFC goes from 10 or 12,000 to 0, well, now you're eligible for Pell Grant money that year. So it's important to file the FAFSA so that the schools know that they need to give you that money to make you whole, to make that those numbers work for you. Okay, so it's really important to stay on top of that. And that's one of the reasons we have it as a requirement, is because we want to make sure that our students are doing the things that are going to get them the most amount of money possible. It's not just about my scholarship. It's about helping you find all the other money that's out there for free that you can find, and about helping you, again, make good decisions on things that make sense for you and your family going forward. Anybody have any other questions?
No.
No?
Yeah.
All right, call me. I hope you heard me. The deadline is February 1st. I hope to see more applications come in. And for those who already put an application in, please make your intake interview. You go back online, go right to where you signed in, and it's right there, the link for the calendar. So please do that ASAP. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Okay, switching seats again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camila. I deeply appreciate that. And I made a couple of notes as she was talking about that. First off, before I forget, because I don't have it in a slide, is we are having for the first time an on-campus SAT and an on-campus ACT. Now, we have been emailing the students. I have been telling them in class, and actually everything that we've gone through and that we will go through tonight, all the seniors heard ad nauseum from me countless times. They got sick of it. So they did hear in senior seminar, and then I send out emails and tell them a nag, but that's okay. So the SAT on campus is going to be March 2nd, and the ACT on campus is March 8th. The caveat is the payment is due tomorrow by 3 p.m. Now, we've been telling and emailing the students. The SAT is $55 and the ACT is $35. So the advantage to having it on campus for our students is their comfort level mostly. It's very nerve-wracking to have to go to another school, find out where the location is, worry that you're getting there on time. At least here, they come here, they know where Charter Hall is. We make it comfortable for them. We probably provide snacks, because we do that all the time anyway. So it's a lot more comfortable here so that their brains can rest and they can focus on the test. So I have been encouraging, I have the juniors now, but I have been encouraging all of them, the seniors as well, to take those on campus. The SAT, again, March 2nd, and the ACT is March 8th. The payment deadline is tomorrow by 3 p.m. They can pay at our cashier's office, room 120. Okay, and the SAT is $55 and the ACT is $35. So that's the SAT. I want to go on because Mrs. Wainwright referred to scholarships. So we have created a couple of years ago a Google Classroom it's called the Scholarship Information Google Classroom. Every senior has been invited to this, and we started this the middle of last year. So they know it's there. Again, this is something I nag them about. I have been populating more local scholarships. They're starting to come out. Do I know what the requirements are for each and every one of them? No, I don't. But I do want to encourage you and your students just to look at them and apply. My philosophy in life is the hardest thing somebody can say to you is no, and it's not going to kill you. And I would tell the kids that all the time. Just apply, just apply, just ask, just go on Google and do a Google search. Art scholarships, and we found tons of those when we did it in class. So I've done the scholarship. Google Classroom is arranged by state scholarships, school-specific scholarships. There's national ones and there's local ones. And Mrs. Wainwright, I did want to ask you about the Eldridge Wheeler one. Can't find any information on that.
I don't know if that's specific to Vero Beach High School or Sebastian. I'm not sure where that one comes from, but I know a lot of kids get that.
Get that, right. So there's
like $250, $500 somewhere in that range.
Okay, so I'll look for that. So again, I've been just last weekend, I put a lot in the local scholarships. So I would encourage them to apply. So one of my seniors who graduated last year told me how she managed at UNF. She got accepted to UNF and they offered her some grant money and they offered her loans and they offered her scholarships, and it still wasn't enough. So she and her parents called the financial aid office and they said, what do we need to do? Is there any way you can bump this up? They told her that she needed, I don't know, something like 10 more volunteer hours. So she did 10 more volunteer hours. They gave her another $2,000. And then she told me later that she literally she did something else and they gave her another scholarship award. And then she went through these local scholarships and she wrote 2, maybe 3 essays and just tweaked them for each of the different scholarships. And she must have applied to all of the scholarships. And the thing was, nobody else applied to the scholarships. So she got a lot of scholarships last year, enough to all her 4 years of UNF are now paid for. So please encourage your students to just keep applying. If it's IRSC, they're going to apply to that foundation. And then what happens when they apply to the foundation, they get emails saying, you qualify for this scholarship. Is that correct? Okay. So now you apply for this. You qualify for this scholarship. It is their IRSC email. So they have to be watching the IRSC email after they apply to the foundation. It can't hurt. That's all I keep saying to them. It can't hurt to Google scholarship for this, scholarship for that. And they're in this one also, there's national scholarships. And then I don't have a picture of it, but there are scholarship search sites that have tons and there's scholarships for left-handed people. I mean, there's all kinds. There's, what is it? Duct tape scholarship.
There's scholarships because you're a girl. There's scholarships
right.
Because you play basketball or baseball.
Right. There's all kinds of scholarships. Right.
Anybody who went to Gifford Middle School, there's a scholarship.
Right. There's one for Gifford Middle School. There's one for Imagine. Osceola. Right.
So be thinking outside the box and think about all the places you've been.
I hope you can hear.
I hope all the places you've been over your,
over the years,
school,
right?
And is there a scholarship that I can apply for?
Even parents, your place of employment.
Right.
I know Piper gives out scholarships to its students. The post office gives out scholarships to its employees, students. There's a veterans one. And again, like I said, we did in senior seminar, did a lot of Google searching on those. And then I start, I'm populating the scholarship information Google Classroom. So just want to encourage you to keep doing that. Make sure that your student is part of that scholarship Google Classroom and that they are watching it. Since I don't have them in class anymore, I am emailing them so often. I'll just put another one up and I know they get an email that something's gone up in the Google Classroom, but I email them anyway and say, I've just posted this, I've just posted this. So please encourage them to keep, as best you can. I mean, sometimes that doesn't even work, but just keep encouraging them to keep trying. They'll find out late soon enough what they need the money for. Any more questions, Lisa? How are we doing on that?
Says sounds off again.
Can you?
I'll tell her just sign out, sign back in.
Okay. All right. How we doing on sound? Please let Lisa know how we're doing on sound and audio. If there's no more questions on that, I'm going to go to another. Not all students are going to college, and we keep talking about that in senior seminar and did lots of research on different workforce and military roles. What we have in Indian River County is a unique opportunity for those who are planning to enter the workforce, and it's called the Manufacturing Boot Camp. It's a week-long boot camp in Indian River County designed to prepare high school graduates for those manufacturing careers that are really in high demand right now. We have lots of manufacturers in Indian River County that nobody knows about, but they are internationally known. It's really phenomenal what I've found out since being on this committee. So this year's boot camp is June 6th through the 12th. The link is here to sign up. I have the link. It includes instructional field trips to the local manufacturers and then classroom studies on resume writing, paychecks, soft skills, and interviewing. And I have Helene Castleton here from the Indian River Chamber of Commerce to talk about that. But I'm going to show a video before she comes on, and it's about the boot camp. Let me know that you can see this, folks. Are they saying anything? Okay, and then I'll pull that slide over.
I'm a huge proponent of getting everything to participate in manufacturing programs. I'm actually a product and technical student myself. So programs like this have a really sweet spot in my heart.
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I wouldn't be where I am today to work for learning technical skills.
So I'm just gonna look into the camera.
Applying that skill to my best ability to get right today.
The type of impact that these programs have on the local community is really, to me, it's the exposure and understanding how we can build the community, how we can build the next generation. I think it's important to understand that a big part of this community is the businesses that it holds and the people that work in those businesses. This could be a stepping stone for some. This could be an education for others. This could be a career for some.
From an industry standpoint, manufacturing boot camp gives local manufacturers the opportunity to showcase some of the career opportunities they have within their facilities, and also gives them a good opportunity to recruit and train and retain very skilled employees.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right. So,
So we can move that over.
yeah. All right. And present. Okay. All right. And then we'll stop there.
Okay.
Man, is the boot camp only for seniors?
No.
No, or 16 and up, right?
Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you. My name is Helene Castleton. I'm the Economic Development Director at the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce. And as Mrs. Bainter said, we're kind of taking a left turn here. This program is designed for those students who are not sure what they're going to do after high school. Maybe they'll go on to college in a few years, or maybe they won't. Like me, I didn't start college till I was 25. And I think I turned out okay, but we'll see. At any rate, so, oh, this isn't the beginning of the slide. There we go.
That's not the beginning. That's the very end.
Okay.
Sorry. Technical difficulties. There we go.
There we go. Okay, this
Okay.
year's.
All righty. Anyway, so yeah, the manufacturing boot camp is for students, and it's for students who are at least 16 years old and actually up to 21 years of age. They can be post high school. And you know, it's instead of, you know, students who aren't sure what they're going to do, maybe they'll go to college, maybe they'll go into the military, but it's probably better than sitting on your couch watching video games all summer. So at any rate, this is kind of designed so that they can get a feel for what today's manufacturing environment is like. It's a whole lot different than it was, you know, decades ago. People think that, oh, it's dungy and dirty and icky, and who wants to do that? Oh my gosh, I will tell you, they are so high tech. There are some manufacturers here in Indian River County, the floor is so clean you could eat your lunch on it, honestly. So any rate, it is a free program. We have an online application. Mrs. Bainter has that link for the application. The application process is open right now. And okay, here's that dreaded word, deadline. The deadline's not until April 15th though. So you're good, you're good. But yeah, we'll tour manufacturers every single day. It's Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. It ends at 4 p.m. And we usually will tour 2 to 3 manufacturers each day. And I don't know if y'all realize, but here's a little fun fact. There are 132 manufacturers in Indian River County. Did you know that? Besides Piper, you know, everyone knows about Piper. But there are, like Mrs. Bainter said, there are a lot of very small manufacturers, but they produce some really cool products. So, you know, the kids will get some giveaways, maybe some t-shirts. We do provide transportation to all the tour locations. We start out each day at the Treasure Coast Technical College in Gifford. We provide a light breakfast, and then the employers, most of them will have lunch, or I'll bring in lunch for everyone. And then we come back to the tech center and kind of do a wrap up and get feedback and that sort of thing. So this is just kind of a snapshot of who some of those manufacturers are here in Indian River County. Triton Submarines in Sebastian is a very cool place. Personal Submersibles. They were featured actually in a Will Smith documentary last month in early December, where he went like 6,000 feet under the ocean, and it was pretty cool. Anyway, so these are some of the businesses that we'll be visiting as well. Just wanted to show this picture. Piper Aircraft has a lot of women who work there out on the production floor. Some of them are technology, some of them are engineers, and we would really love to get more girls in our program. This is our 3rd year, and we haven't had any girls in the program yet. I'd really like to get some girls involved. So, manufacturing pays a pretty decent wage. This is just showing a comparison of some of those key industries we have here in Indian River County. This is based on a 40-hour work week. So you can see that manufacturing pays a pretty decent wage, plus there's benefits and, you know, vacation and all that kind of good stuff, but they're pretty decent wages. And I'm going to show you some photos of this last summer when we went through some of the manufacturing facilities each day. Dragonfly Boat Works, they make, as you can see, they make stand-up paddle boards. They make kayaks and shallow water fishing vessels. They're over on Aviation Boulevard. And he loves to hire high school kids, just telling you. Sun Aviation over at the Vero Beach Regional Airport. They do a lot of maintenance, especially on Piper aircraft. So we got to tour the hangar. We also saw some of the technology that they use, the GPS and all that. It was really super interesting. There is a welding program over at the technical college, so everybody got to try that out to see how they liked it. I think I missed the boat on that. I should have done that for a living. I think it's pretty darn cool. Float-on boat trailers out on 98th Avenue. They make aluminum boat trailers. A lot of welding going on at that place, as you can see from the photo. And that one bar that you can see, that really long bar in the bottom right corner, while we were there, they bent it into a 90-degree angle. So that was pretty neat. MA Ford is also out on 98th Avenue. They make precision drill bits. They make some that are as small as the width of a piece of hair. They're used for electronics. Nyla Carb, also on 98th Avenue, just past the Outlet Mall. They do plastic injection molding, and it's used in a lot of different projects or products. In fact, they have a contract with General Motors in Detroit and produce some of the things that go on those vehicles. Illuma Tower, they have 2 locations on Old Dixie Highway, and they do a lot with the federal government, the Department of Defense. They, well, as the name might imply, they make towers that go up, oh gosh, about 3 stories. It's just fascinating to watch. They're communication towers, but they ship them all over the world. And you can see that tower over there on the right. Girard Equipment just moved into a new place over on the west side of the Vero Beach Airport off 43rd Avenue, and they make specialized valve caps for the tanker truck industry. They're only one of 5 companies in the world that do that. The owner travels globally to trade shows and to visit customers. And I will tell you what, that foundry, that photo in the upper right corner, that was fascinating to watch.
The kids loved it.
Oh,
The kids
everybody, mouths were on the floor. I mean, jaws were on the floor. It was fascinating to watch. United Juice, now called Paracone Farms. They're out on 66th Avenue Southwest, and they do a lot of juicing for other name brands. You won't see their name on the bottle, but you'll see, well, they don't make Publix because we did a taste test and I failed miserably. But they do a lot of juices for other name brands, and that was really interesting to see too. We have an introduction to the Certified Production Technician program, and the kids really like that. And then the last day we were at Piper Aircraft all morning, walked the production floor. That was about 3 hours, and then went out on the tarmac. They got to do some hands-on drilling, and it was really a great day. We also have some soft skills training. We have sessions every morning before we go out on the tours. We'll have sessions on, interviewing, resume building, why it's important to show up to work every day on time, team building, paychecks, why are they taking so much money out of my paycheck? Who are these people? That sort of thing. And budgeting, that's really important as well. On Friday afternoon, we do some mock interviews. So, you can kind of practice. And actually, I will say that some of the kids in the program this last summer, they had to leave for an afternoon because they were doing interviews with some of the employers we had already visited. So we do give them a certificate of completion. They can add this program to their resume because it really means a lot that they made that commitment, that week-long commitment to do this program. So, and all of our local employers all know about it. And, these are some of the partners we have who support us through this program. So if you have any, and they don't have to be seniors, they can be sophomores or juniors or even postgraduate, post-high school. If they are interested, like I said, April 15th is a deadline to apply. We start the program. We're going to do some in-person interviews prior to the program, and then probably a week before it starts. The program starts June 6th. So probably that week prior, we'll set up an orientation session for all the parents or guardians and their student, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going to happen that next week. Like I say, they do have to be at the technical center at 8 o'clock every morning, either get a ride or a lot of them do drive. We'll finish up by 4 o'clock, sometimes a little bit earlier. It is a free program, so it just gives them really good experience. They can talk to the managers. A lot of them are the owners of the business. I encourage them to ask as many questions as you want. Ask them how much you're going to make. Can I have that time off? No. You know, ask whatever questions you can. So it's really a great experience. And, you know, if they're not sure what they're going to do after high school, maybe, like I said, if they're going to wait for a couple of years before they go on to college, this is a great opportunity for them. We can accommodate probably 15 to 20 students or people. I think the last year, I think we had 12 or 13. So we hope to grow the program every year. But Mrs. Bainter is a great addition to our committee. So she's very knowledgeable about the program and helps us with it. So if anybody has any questions, certainly you can email or call Mrs. Bainter. You can call me. There I am. There's my phone number and my email address. So any rate, thank you very much. And, you know, I hope we can see some students and really hope we can get some girls in the class this year. So thanks, you guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being. Yeah. Okay, so again, we talked about the FAFSA, so I just wanted to, you know, we've talked about, like I said, ad nauseum, so just going over the FAFSA. And this is what you'll need to fill it out, your Social Security, federal income tax returns. You can transfer your federal tax information into FAFSA using the data retrieval tool. Bank statements, records of investment, records of untaxed income, and then the FSA ID. And the student and the parent and guardian need to have a completed account. And that was all, we went over all of that in senior seminar as well. Bright Futures, we also went over in senior seminar, and Mrs. Wainwright went over that. We did talk about to the seniors making sure that they applied. It's a very quick application. So please, and we told them all the importance of go ahead and applying and then taking the SAT and the ACT. So keep that in mind. If you need your students' transcripts, they are, this is on our website. This link is located under the Students and Families tab under Student Resources. This is how to get, I've had a few emails about how to get the transcripts, so that's how to do that. The yearbook, for the things that the seniors need to know is the senior quote is due February 4th, and they'll get a spreadsheet through the home-based teacher. Senior portraits, the deadline for that is February 6th. They go to the DSP, Dean Stewart Photo Studios in Vero Beach and Sebastian. Those are available by appointment, and the link is on our website as well. This is the link, and the students get the link as well. Yearbooks are $60, and they can be purchased in room 120 with cash, check, or card, and checks made payable to IRCHS. They receive their yearbooks during senior memory night. They are the first ones to receive the yearbook, so no one else gets them before them. And senior memory night is May 19th at 5:30 p.m. in the Charter Dome, and that is for the seniors, and we give them dinner, and it's a time for them to, home-based teachers hand out awards and for them to sign each other's yearbooks, okay? Some other important dates, the school, they'll be doing some more photos if photos were missed on February 3rd. Spring break is the March 21st to the 25th. April 2nd is prom, it's at Grand Harbor. Grad Bash is April 8th, that's the Universal Studios. Senior Awards Night is April 26th, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. That's at the First Baptist Church. Again, Senior Memory Night is May 19th, and graduation rehearsal is May 20th. We'll be doing rehearsal in Charter Hall, but graduation is May 21st at 10 a.m. at the PAC at Vero Beach High School. And again, all of this is on our calendar, which is on the website as well. So some of the things the seniors need to remember is to take their senior portrait. communicate, so they still have the opportunity to continue doing volunteer hours that might go toward Bright Futures. They need to get that final volunteer hour count to the home-based teacher so that they can send that to Mrs. Burleson. So that goes on their transcripts, which goes to Bright Futures. The senior quote, and then we'll have a home-based quote. They're going to vote for their senior superlatives. The yearbook, make sure they submit any name corrections to the yearbook staff if the name is incorrect or different on Focus. If they have not already done so, they need to pay $100 senior fees at the cashier's office, room 120. This includes any international, second semester international seniors. The senior fees pay for the cap and gown and the beach picture. It pays for the graduation picture and the events that we have on the senior week that we can, there are their diploma cover as well. Grad Bash is Friday, April 8th. It is total of $150. It's at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Their $75 non-refundable deposit was due last semester. Their final payment of $75 is due by February 11th. They leave campus on the buses at 4 p.m. and usually return around 4 to 5 a.m. They have Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure to themselves, along with many, many, many other seniors from Florida. So they have a great time with that. If they're wanting to go on with that, they can pay at the cashier's office. And they've also been told about that at senior seminar. And let's see, senior awards night ceremony is at First Baptist Church in Vero on April 26th at 6 p.m. It is a formal ceremony. We like to keep the senior awards night and graduation as formal as we can. So we ask that the students wear professional attire. They sit as a group. That is the first time we get to line them up as they would be lined up at graduation, and they process in as well as they would at graduation. Please, for senior awards night, make sure that your students' college acceptances, any financial support offered by the colleges, any scholarships that they earn are reported to me. They can email me, and I have them in a special file. These are the way I know what accomplishments that are going to be recognized and announced, as well as the scholarships. And we have the local scholarships representatives come and present their scholarships to the students as well. There's also a lot of staff awards that are given that night. So it's always a fun night. Again, I told you about those on-campus. We have the possibility of an on-campus ASVAB. If the students are interested, this is all optional and voluntary. I'm still waiting to hear on either February 28th or March 14th. So if your student's interested in that, have them contact me. Graduation is Saturday, May 21st at the PAC at 10 a.m. So the students will probably need to be there at least an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier. It takes us quite a while to line them up. It is inside the PAC, so there is limited inside capacity according to fire code. So the international students receive 2 tickets each, and all other students receive 5 tickets. If your student does not need all of their tickets, please let Mrs. Burleson know. If you need any more tickets, they must email Mrs. Burleson. That's megan.burleson@irchs.org, and needs are met on a first come, first served basis. So again, keeping in mind the fire code capacity, we cannot have more people in there than are allowed. So that's why the limited number of tickets. And let's see. That's
one more thing.
Oh,
Our
Mrs.
scholarship night is going to be hosted here.
That's
this
right.
year.
So the foundation scholarship will be hosted here at, it's a separate awards night, will be hosted here at Charter
May 17th.
May 17th at 6 o'clock. Okay,
And
so
if they're going to receive an award, they'll get an invitation.
okay, so if they receive an award, they'll receive an
invited to
invitation.
come, right.
And on the other local scholarships, a lot of the local clubs have their own luncheons that the scholarship recipients are invited to. So keep those in mind as well. Do we have any other questions? Other questions? I'm gonna let you all go. I thank you so much for your attention. You've been great. Do we have any other questions? Going? No?
No.
Okay, this is being recorded, and I imagine they'll be putting it up on the website. So if you need to refer back to it, that will be, you're able to do that. So I thank you very much for coming, and keep in touch with us. Keep an eye on that website so as we continue to add information to it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Awesome. How many attended?
49. Okay, so let me pop.